What is going on with the Rays? I look at this team. It's just embarrassing. Embarrassing weekend for the Rays. Only win over New York is a victory where the Yankees bullpen faltered. This has been a 2025 to forget. I mean, a 5-8 homestand. 5-8. And it's amazing how many people were buying the rhetoric from the Rays and not just looking at how the roster is constructed. I mean, at what point do we stop buying some of this stuff and start analyzing this team for what they really are? I don't want to hear anybody tell me about how great the Rays have been over the last decade. Enough with that. Tell me how they are going to be good in 2025. Don't give me the Shane McClanahan injury. It's one guy. One guy. Other guys need to pick it up. And the guy that you brought in, Joe Boyle, threw his ass off in that one game. Right? I don't want to hear anything about the history of this team in the last 10 years and they've done more with less. I don't want to hear that. That's falling on deaf ears. They've won one playoff game since the 2020 World Series, and they've gotten progressively worse. They won one playoff game in 2021. They won 0 in 2022, 0 in 2023, and they missed the playoffs in 2024. Honestly, are you confident that they're going to turn it around? Give me a real reason why they're going to turn it around. Here's the StreamYard link right here. Get on the freaking line. If you are a believer, or maybe you're not a believer, get on the line right now and tell me. Tell me why you have faith and confidence in this team. Everybody that had a belief that this team was going to be a playoff team this year, what did they tell you going into the season? Well, they have all of these games at home. They're facing some lowly teams there in the beginning of the season, playing Colorado and playing Pittsburgh. As long as they're this, as long as they're that, they should be fine. Should, could, would. I'm sorry. The way that these rosters are being constructed, it's just not working. It's not working. At what point do these guys go back to the drawing board? We keep hearing that they don't want to go into a full rebuild. This doesn't look like a playoff team. This doesn't even look like a 500 team. You can't keep playing like this and think that you're going to be successful. Everybody else in the major leagues is using analytics now. There are other teams using the openers. There are other teams that are focusing on pitching and defense. There are other teams that are not just completely giving up on offense for defense. I'm sick of looking at guys in this Rays lineup for the last 3-4 years where it's like, he's batting 170. That's fine because he plays great defense. No, it's not. If a guy is not even getting a hit 2 out of 10 times, you are giving outs away on a daily basis. Every freaking day, the Rays just hand outs over to the other team. Here you go. Take this. Boom. There you go. Here's another out. You want an out? Joe Boo's here's 3 outs for you. You're going to take it again. You don't have to sacrifice all of your offense for good defense. The Rays have to do something. Going down this same path is not going to lead you to success. And I feel like there's a lot more people that are looking at this team and getting it. And it sucks because this is the worst possible time for this to happen. You're telling me that Rob Manfred is watching the Tampa Bay area and seeing if they're showing up? I'm telling you right now, if this team continues to play this way, that place is going to be empty in the summer. Empty. And nobody's going to freaking tell you that because they don't have the balls to, because they're worried about somebody sending them an email. Let's keep it positive. Let's focus on the field. This is the field. You're 9-13. 9-13. And they're like, let's bring Chandler Simpson up. Okay, that guy should have been here from the beginning. You have exciting players so worried about clocks and making sure that we don't start the clock too early. You're trading guys before this time. All right, fine, but what has that gotten you the last 5 years? Jack shit. Nothing. You're getting progressively worse, farther and farther away from being a team that is a World Series contender. Don't worry, the cavalry will be here. Okay, but how do we know that they're going to be good? How do we know that these guys are going to contribute to a winning ball club? Look at some of the statistics around the league of players that aren't playing well, or teams that aren't playing well, or maybe teams that are underachieving. Look at the statistics of the Rays. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Ben Rortvedt is 2 for 21. He's batting .095. Now, I don't expect Ben Rortvedt to be freaking Buster Posey. But at what point do we look at things like this and go, it has to be better? Well, maybe it doesn't. He batted .228 last year. Before that, for the Yankees, 118, 169. You're telling me it has to be that bad? Is he that great of a defender? I don't know. We just sit there and we buy all this stuff from this team. Danny Jansen is the big guy. He did so great in spring training. He's 6 for 48. 6 for 48. This dude is batting .125. I don't understand. Yandy Diaz. Everybody's like, look at the last. And it drives me crazy that people look at this team and they always come up with in the last 4 games, in the last 5 games, you can make any single statistic make your team look good. At the end of the day, it comes down to one thing. How many runs you score. Do you score more than the other team? Yes or no? You get a win if you do. You get a loss if you don't. It's that simple. To be so overly analytical with this team and to try to reinvent the wheel and play guys when they shouldn't play and not play guys when they should play. Like, you're turning people away from supporting this team. And just look at the brass tacks, the clear as day numbers. Yandy Diaz is a center point of this team. He's batting .222. His on-base percentage is .268. We're not talking a week or 2 into the season. This is over 3 weeks into the season now. And Yandy is still batting like this. I just look, where would this team be? Don't even get me started with Taylor Walls batting up .167. You don't, and just go look at other teams. And I'm not talking about the Dodgers. I'm just looking at other teams and how they're able to balance their offense and their defense. They don't have to be so heavy on one side. Where would this team be without Cam Meisner and Jake Mangum? Think about that. 2 guys that you didn't even know they were going to be on the roster this year. And if it wasn't for them, this team would have 5 wins. 5, maybe. That is offensively. Pitching-wise, that's the other thing. You know I love my guy Ryan Pepio. He's 1-3 with a 4.82 ERA. I love Pep. He's a great guy. He's a freaking bulldog. It's not good enough, and he'll tell you that. And we're going to get him on the show, if not this week and next week, and we're going to talk about it. I know how hard he's working. But there were people that saying that Pep was going to be an all-star this year. He's 1-3 with a 4.82 ERA. It's not good enough. Taj is 2-1 with a 5.24 ERA. Littell's got an ERA of 5.48. I mean, guys, what are we doing? All of these different ERAs in the bullpen over 3. Over 3, if it's between 3 and 4 as a starter, not too terrible. But in the bullpen, you got to have guys under 3. All of these guys have an ERA over 3. Clevenger, Biggie, Montgomery, Fairbanks, Uceda, Kelly. Like, you can't win like this. Everybody is talking about their offense and, oh, they need to do this and they need to do that. We're built on pitching and defense. Your pitching ain't doing anything either. The Rays need to find it, and they need to find it quick. Because everybody, it's not, everybody wants to give you this whole sunshine and rainbows and butterflies, and they're not looking at, we spoke about this before the season. There's going to come a point where the Rays have to change the way they do things. Because the other teams, when it comes to the analytics, when it comes to developing, when it comes to really focusing on the farm system, other teams have caught up. You're not catching anybody by surprise. And if they don't change, we're going to continue to get this. Extrapolate the record that they have right now over 162 games. That place is going to be empty in July. They're 9-13. And now what? Does it get any easier? No. You got a day off today. You go to Arizona. They're 13-9. This is a team that was in the World Series 2 years ago. And you're going to face, Littell against Font in the first game. Then you're going to have Taj Bradley against Eddie Rodriguez. And then you're going to have a really good matchup on Thursday at 9:40. Drew Rasmussen and Corbin Burns. I know Corbin Burns, the numbers aren't great to start. Drew's been fantastic. 1-1 with an 0.87 ERA. And then this weekend, you go to San Diego to take on the Padres. They're 16-6. It's not going to get any easier going up against Fernando Tatis, going against Xander Bogaerts. I'm over the excuses. I'm over the reasons why things aren't going well. You got to fix it. At what point is there an accountability factor? And I'm so sick and tired of this is what they do with what they have. I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. There's other teams out there that do more with, maybe they don't have less, but they're able to do more with just a little bit more. It's got to be better. Now, yesterday's game, Max Fried has a no-hitter. And there's a play where Chandler Simpson hits a ground ball to Paul Goldschmidt at first base. And he boots it. And as Max Fried is pitching, he's got a no-hitter. And Bill Matthews, who, if anybody out there knows Billy Matthews, he's one of the most respected baseball guys in the entire Bay Area. Former coach at Eckerd. He threw all 9 innings at the media game a couple of years ago. This guy is in his, I would say, if I had to guess, he's in his 60s maybe. This is a guy that does charity work around the Bay Area. This is a guy that always has a smile on his face, always asks you how you're doing. And he makes the call initially that it's an error and not a base hit. Then a couple innings later, he changes it from an error to a hit, so Max Fried does not have a no-hitter. He ends up giving up a hit after that anyway. But people lose their freaking minds, including Michael Kay on the Yankees broadcast, which I thought was one of the most unprofessional and just shitty things a high-profile guy like that could do. You don't know Bill Matthews. The majority of you losers out there that want to talk shit about a guy on Easter Sunday for just doing his job and putting his picture up there and threatening him and saying all these terrible things. That says a whole hell of a lot more about you than it does Bill. You can disagree, but Twitter and social media becomes an absolute cesspool when things don't go your way. It's fucking terrible. And excuse my language, but it's just, I want you to realize how shitty that was. Put yourself in Bill's position. He's not a homer. He cares way more about the integrity of baseball and his credibility rather than doing anything to benefit the Rays. I know that for a fact. He made a call for what he saw, and I thought initially it was an error too, but after watching it back and checking the replay, he switched it. He's well within his right to do so. He is an official scorer in the major leagues, and he's done it for years. Now, he could have waited until after the game, but I know Bill. And Bill definitely made sure that he did that before the Yankees got to a point where they were going to keep Max Fried in the game longer than they should have this early in the season just to go after the no-hitter. He could have been a homer and just could have gave him a hit right off the bat, but no, he took his time. It's not your job as a official scorer to worry about historical reference or historical perspective or anything like that. It's not your job. Your job is to get it right. And it took some time, but he got it right. I would rather a guy take his time and be thorough, but also have a mindset of hey, he actually gave a crap about how the Yankees would be affected in this. He's the Rays guy. And for people to say the horrible things that they had to say about Bill Matthews on Twitter yesterday, shame on you. Shame on you. I hate that. You wouldn't have the balls to say that to his face. All these Twitter tough guys and these keyboard warriors, go back to your parents' basement, sit there, open up the jar of peanut butter, stick the spoon in there, and eat your dinner and shut your mouth.